Hello, Pisces. Welcome to Lotus Heart Tarot. I'm super excited to have you here. We're going to dive right in. I'm giggling because this is the fourth time I've tried to record this reading. Okay, fourth time is the charm, guys. Here we go. Here we go. For Pisces. For Pisces, please, Spirit. What? Okay, Pisces, you're definitely on the precipice of a new beginning. Every single time I've tried to start this reading, something about a new beginning has come out. Wow, okay. This is so interesting. Okay, so you guys are getting time for introspection, which I think is something that, okay, there's something here where I don't know, I feel kind of as if there could be someone who kind of got pulled out of your life or stepped back from a relationship with you or whatever, that it's like this person really needed to introspect. This person wasn't seeing the whole picture. We have Surratt here. It's like Sundays at La Grande Jetée, I think is the name of that piece. And I've seen this in real life. And when you look at it, he's a pointillist. So everything here is made out of a tiny little dot, you know, like a point, right? And so if you're really up close and looking at that, all you're seeing are these little colored dots. You have to stand back from it in order to get the whole picture of what's happening there. And I feel like there's kind of this energy where it says like making a point, where it's kind of like you may have been dealing with someone who may have just been looking at something from their own perspective or their own point of view or their own, you know, it's like they were missing the bigger picture here, or they weren't. Yeah, I mean, that's really what it is. I'm just going to stick with that. I think anything else I say would complicate it. And it's kind of like you may have had to take a stand, or you may have had to enforce a very strong boundary in order to sort of make this person zoom out, or give this person the space and opportunity to sort of see the bigger picture of what was going on. I do believe with the birth of Venus here, that Botticelli painting, that there's an opportunity for something new to emerge. It's funny, this painting always makes me think of Pisces. So I think something is getting a new opportunity. It needed a zoom out moment here. It needed for someone to sort of have a moment where they had like the space, I feel like, to see the bigger picture. Wow. Guys, I'm just telling you. Okay, so you have red flags. You promised yourself you'd never date someone like me again. I think that's what caused you to put up the boundary. I think this person, it's like, you know, you have this laughter energy, and there are people that you have so much fun with that, like, you know, they can get you to disclose things that you don't want to disclose, or like, I've had friends like this that are funny and that are so disarming with their charm and their humor, that they'll ask you a question and you're just sort of having such a good time. It may be like too personal or whatever, something that you wouldn't normally answer, or something that you wouldn't even expect sometimes someone to ask. But it's like they're asking you, you're having fun, you're whatever, you know, and you sort of go along with it, or you sort of do it, or you sort of like take on their their sort of level of appropriate and inappropriate or whatever. And then it's like you go home and you're thinking about it and you're like, man, you know, I don't normally talk about things like that, or I don't normally discuss things like that. Like, I kind of hate that I said that, but like that person's so funny, or that person just knows how to sort of get those things, draw those things out of me. You know what I mean? There's kind of this energy of where it's like someone who, you know, maybe for example, you're someone who likes commitment or needs commitment or wants commitment, like, and there's someone who sort of got you in a situationship, and there is this sort of unspoken feeling that you're, you know, more together than a situationship, but it hasn't really been spoken. And so you kind of want to, you've told yourself, I'm not going to go down that path again. I always get hurt when I go down that path again. So I'm going to try to sort of enforce this boundary. And it's like, I feel like this person, you know, this laughter is just like, it's just kind of not necessarily taking the thing seriously or dismissing it, but dismissing it in a way that doesn't feel like a straight up dismissal. It's kind of like, oh, come on, you know, like, you know what I mean? It's like, I don't know. We're having such a good time. It's so good between us. We don't really need to change anything. You know, but it's like, you know, personally that you made yourself a promise. And so if you don't hold yourself to that, you're sort of letting yourself down, or you're sort of, you know, denying yourself what you promised yourself, you know? And so it comes to this place where it's like, I feel there is this, I have to make a point. I have to draw a boundary here. Honey Beckett, down, down, down. Hey, girl. Down. Down. We're not playing right now. Good girl. Thank you. That's a good girl. No. Oh, you don't talk back to Grand Dogma. No. That's not how we get treats at this house. No, we get treats by listening and being good. Okay? Lay down. Sorry, guys. Our dog, it's my grand dog. She went through dog school training, and we have to reinforce the training, even though I'm terrible, and she knows I'm terrible about it. Hey, down, down, down. I'm only supposed to tell her down once. Good girl. Now stay. Good girl. And I'm not supposed to say stay. Okay. So you see what I'm saying though? It's like, I feel as though someone forced you into a position where you had to take a strong stance, where you couldn't just roll with it. And it was good. It was fun. You know, nobody makes me laugh the way you do, but you promised yourself. You said to yourself, hey, I'm not going to do this again. I'm not going to get in a messy situation where I'm not comfortable. Like, I have standards, and I'm not going to let somebody talk me out of it, no matter what it is. I feel like, Pisces, someone is coming in with very serious intentions. It says, I can't get enough of you. Do you want to move in together? With this beginning something new, it feels like that goes together. So it's like someone may be coming in where you've already had some kind of connection with them. I think they tried to push your boundaries, force your limits. I think you put a lot of cold water on the situation, and they had some time to think about it and see the bigger picture. And now they're like, oh man, they may actually respect you more because you took that stance. Let's see, let's go deeper. This should be interesting. For Pisces, Wow. Yeah, I mean, it's, wow. Yeah, see? Oh my God, this just keeps coming out. Okay, hang on. I need glasses. Here they are. All right. You've got Expectations. I want to be all that you want me to be. I don't want to disappoint you. I know you have a lot of expectation from me, and I'm trying to stand for that. But at times I feel so far away from that, and I'm afraid to let you down or disappoint you. Wow, so someone wasn't really necessarily sure if they were worthy or if they could meet your expectation or that they could be enough for you. You know, even if you felt they were, they may not have felt so. Then you have you are mine. There is no one else in the world who could ever replace you. We were made to be together. We are destined, and I am yours and you are mine only. We have done this before and we'll do it again. I feel a sense of possessiveness with this card, or like, I want to protect this, or I want to, I don't want anyone else to have you. I don't want you to get away from me. Like, I don't think there is anyone else for me. It's not that. It's just that I all of a sudden, you know, I started feeling overwhelmed, and like, I didn't know if I could meet your expectation. I didn't know if I was good enough, you know? And then you have silence on the bottom of the deck, and it says, I am sorry for my silence. I just needed a break, and now I don't know how to reach out to you again. I'm afraid you won't let me back. I know it's been a long time since we haven't spoken, but trust me, my love, I missed you so much during this time, and I am finding my way back to you soon. Someone's coming back around, Pisces. They want to start something new. They're in a much more serious mind frame. They understand what you want, and I think it's like, I'd rather go down trying. Like, I'm already in it. I'm already feeling these things. I already feel like I don't want to be without Pisces, and like, I've already maybe even tried to move on. I'm seeing things from Pisces perspective. I'm seeing what's happening here. And I'd rather just try, you know, and live with trying than stay here and live with, I don't know if I could have been that person for you or not, because I was afraid to try. You see what I mean? Because I also feel like this person doesn't want to see you get with someone else. Like, and also they honestly feel like there is no one else for them besides you. You know, it's not like they left you for somebody else. Even if they're with someone else, or even it's like, there is this energy of like, I know no one can actually take your place, or that there is no one else more suited for me. You know, there may be easier relationships, right, that don't, you know, make me question whether I'm good enough or not, right? But is that what I want? Is that what I'm trying to be in? Wow, there's definitely communication coming in here. Wow, you have the Ace of Swords. Wow, this is so strong. With the Prince of Swords. Wow. Sorry, I keep saying that, but like, whoa, usually things are not this obvious. Sometimes, oh my God. Whew. Okay, I feel like someone is feeling a lot of pressure and wants to come in and communicate with you very quickly. This is the second day in a row that this has been happening. We are heading into that retrograde I was telling you about. Let me just see when this retrograde is occurring. July 18th. So guys, what is that? Like 11 days. So yeah, we're in the pre-shadow period of the retrograde, which is crazy because that's basically when we started feeling this energy of someone coming in. Remember yesterday I was talking so fast, and see here I'm doing it again. It's like, it's just like someone is in a rush, and it's like, I have to hurry up. Very interesting energy. Okay, so some of you may be dealing with a Libra. You do have 2 swords here, and then the Justice card. You could just be also dealing with someone who's typically in the mindset of an air sign, or, you know, kind of someone who believes in right and wrong, someone who wants to do the right thing, someone who is very logical and analytical and very possibly educated, or just academic, or just serious-minded, sharp-witted even. You could have great like banter between you, or like back and forth communication, or flirting, or, you know, call it whatever you want to call it. That kind of energy I also sense right here. but it's like this person has made a decision, and this person wants to do the right thing, and they may even feel as though they had an opportunity that they didn't make a decision, or they were afraid to make a decision, or they weren't ready to make a decision, or whatever. And it's like they have now had the time to sort of sit with everything and let it settle. And they're ready to communicate. I mean, they're ready to break the silence. You have this silence card that said, but trust me, my love, I miss you so much during this time, and I'm finding my way back to you soon. And then you have these swords cards and the justice card. So, the Prince of Swords is the Knight of Swords. So this is like someone who's coming in very quickly to speak their truth. The Ace of Swords is like, I'm going to bring complete clarity to this situation in hopes and an attempt to have success and victory here between us. Why the Ace of Swords? Why the Ace of Swords? Four of Wands. See, this person, they do, for some of you, they really are seriously going to ask you to move in. Wow, Page of Cups on the bottom of the deck. They may want to apologize. They feel a very strong connection. Holy jeez. You have the Knight of Wands clarifying the Knight of Swords. First of all, they know you're attractive, and they know there's like probably other people, like a heat-seeking missile heading toward you, or that's the feeling they have. They don't want someone else kind of getting in the way. I also think it may bother them that you may think that they were a player, or that they were in and out, or that they didn't have serious intentions, or it's like, I feel like they're bothered by the way that you are seeing them or thinking about them, that they want to like come in and clear things up and speak the truth so that it's not sort of left unsaid. But whenever you have two knights in a reading, it can mean that there is competition, or that there are more than one person coming for you. With the Lovers on the bottom of the deck, this can also talk about a choice. And so this person may feel that like you may have choices, you may have options, you may have more than one person coming at you, or they may not be the only one, but they feel that the connection between you is the strongest connection like that they've experienced, at the very least. They also feel there is some level and degree of like fate, or like that you're a soulmate. With the Four of Wands and the Lovers, these are like two of the biggest, deepest soulmate cards, right, in the tarot deck. So there's definitely this heavy emphasis on, I need to get in there while I can still get in there, and remind Pisces like just how deep our connection is, or just how strong it is, before she starts something with someone else, or he starts something with someone else, right? You guys are getting all the knights, man. You may be looking very attractive right now. You may be you may be getting a lot of attention. You may, like, if you have social media that this person is watching, you may be getting a lot of attention. You may just be like looking really good. I do feel, Pisces, like you're in alignment with your life right now, or you're coming into alignment with your life right now. And you can always tell when someone's super in alignment. I was actually talking to a friend of mine about this. She was painting a room in her house, and all of a sudden, every time I saw her, she was kind of wearing a similar color to the color that she was telling me she was planning on painting her bedroom. And I was like, this is so hilarious. Like, every time I see you, you're wearing this color. And I was like, you're really coming into alignment. Your space is looking this way, you're dressing this way, like you're really coming into alignment with your life. And it happens, right? Where it's like, I really like all the pieces and parts of my life. I really feel like everything that sort of makes me up, or that is a statement of me, is really in alignment with my authenticity, with my truth, with myself. I was actually talking to my other friend about his mom. We were talking about a period of time where his mom was really, really happy, and she had this little black sports car, and she put, do you guys remember those eyelashes that you could put on the headlights of a car? She loved it. She was so at peace. She just felt like she was, you know, throwing sunshine out all over the place. Well, she was, and she does. That's just who she is. She has a very sunny disposition. But, you know, she was at one with her aesthetic, you know, and it sort of feels, you know, with the Six of Wands, it's like we are kind of really attractive, even if we would never put those eyelashes on our own car, or even if we're like, typically we don't like it, but for you it really fits you, like, because you know the person, you know what I mean? Or like whatever. There's something about what you're putting out there right now, Pisces, that is kind of really making people sit up and take notice. It's making people see you as someone who is authentic all the way through, who really does represent themselves in a way that is truly aligned with who they are. You know, you're not trying to be somebody else. You're not trying to conform. You're not trying to anything. You just are who you are, and it's a vibe. It's a whole moment, and it's good. You know, I mean, it's attractive. You may be getting like attention for it, but you are having success and victory, and you are sort of coming across as someone who is successful, who is confident. And I feel like here with the third Knight in your reading, okay, it's a Knight of Cups. This person is like, okay, I need to follow my heart, you know, before Pisces gets away, because you see how this person is like, hey, you know, let me talk to you for a second. And Pisces is just riding off into the sunset. This person wants to be chosen by you. Look at that card. She's knighting him. You know, they want to have another chance. They want to have another opportunity. You know, they want to make the right decision and commit and devote themselves to you at this time. Wow, yeah, underneath that Judgment is the Three of Swords, and the Four of Swords is underneath that. So they have suffered without you, Pisces, and I do feel like, you know, they have taken some time to sort of zoom out with that Four of Swords and that Seurat card and that Rembrandt card. They have taken a moment here, and now they're very, very sure. They're ready to like, I'm getting surrender. Yeah, see, this person, they want to follow their heart. They want to come in. This is the second time you're getting this Ace of Swords energy. This person is definitely coming towards you. You got like 3 Knights in your reading, like boom, like that. And you're getting the Ace of Swords twice. They're coming toward you. They want to talk. The King of Pentacles is kind of like giving me this, the buck stops here. And do you see how this person, I think they're actually holding a baby here, but it almost looks like they're in prayer. In a prayer of gratitude, in a prayer of, there's deep emotion in this picture. Even though you can't see really too much of anything, there's deep emotion. It's like they want to stop this. They may even feel like you could be the parent of their child. They may feel like they want to build something or have a family with you. Babies also represent new beginnings. And again, you keep getting this new beginning energy. Honey Bucket, come here. You have to go. You have to lay down, girl. Girlfriend, hey, come on. Down. Down. Good girl. Oh, I love you. You're so good. And they want to stop you from getting away. They want to stop you before it's too late, and they know what is required to stop you is the energy of King of Pentacles. I have to be willing to commit. I have to be ready to be vulnerable. I have to be ready to tell Pisces the truth and to tell it like it is. I have to be willing to offer Pisces everything that I've got to offer, you know? And you have the Queen of Swords on the bottom of the deck, which is just sort of telling me that they feel like you will be fair, that you will listen to them, but they're not sure how you'll respond. They know that you're not going to just sugarcoat it or try to make them feel better or just kind of give them what they want because they're asking for it. They know that you're discerning. They know that you have standards. They know they've already let you down once. They know that you're willing to cut people out of your life that don't show up the way that you need them to. They're not taking anything for granted. Wow. I mean, Pisces, this is not like, are they coming toward me? This is like, they're coming toward you. You know, this is, you know, there's so much movement toward you. And it's ironic because in all of these cards, you're sort of, the character that feels like is you is facing away from this person. I don't know if you have, you know, sort of moved on, or sort of have tried to really put this behind you, or have sort of turned your back on this person in real life. But it's been really difficult since you have, because the 10 of Swords is coming out with the Queen of Cups, and it's kind of like, you know, I keep talking about this, or I feel like I keep having the same feelings when I'm in your readings, and it's kind of this energy of like sort of not knowing what you had until it's gone, of like you offered this emotional safe space for this person, and now living without it is very, very hard. They're alone with their thoughts, and it's almost like it's kind of like Pisces, like I'm not trying to be too dramatic here, but this is really the vibe I'm catching. So put it on the spectrum for yourself where you know this person to be. But it's kind of like I was dealing with an angel. Like I was given this gift from the heavens, and I shut the door, or like I couldn't receive it. I didn't treat it right. You know what I mean? And it's like trying to live with something like that, trying to sort of make that okay in your head is very, very difficult, right? It's way easier when we can sort of blame someone else, or we can, you know, it's easier to be, even though it hurts, right? When someone abandons you, or makes you feel rejected, or whatever, however this person has made you feel, that hurts, right? But ultimately, if you were true to yourself, then you can live with it. If you know that you did what you had to, what you promised yourself, and you lived up to your own expectation of your own self in the situation, then you can live with it. You will eventually get over it. But when you feel like you had a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity and you didn't rise to meet the occasion when it was in front of you, you're going to kick yourself the rest of your life. The 10 of Swords, it's like this person, I feel like they have really beat themselves up. Right here, you have these two sixes, right? You have the Lover's energy here, which looks an awful lot like the Chariot, but it's not. And the 6 of Swords. And it's ironic that this really does look like the Chariot, because it is giving me the vibe of someone who has made their choice and is absolutely certain the direction they're going. And with the 6 of Swords, it's kind of like, I have to put myself out of my misery. You know, I've sat here long enough. You know, this Silence card, it says, you know, it may have been a long time that this person has been silent. But it's kind of like, I sat here for long enough. It's not dissipating. It's not getting easier. The only way that this is going to get easier is if I choose to move, if I choose to go for this, if I choose to show up and say what I need to say and try to bring this thing to a place of peace. Like, take it out of this tumultuous water, out of this tumultuous time. With the 5 of Swords, I feel like this person has felt this way for quite a while. But I feel like this exact same energy came out yesterday. This is becoming very consistent. But it's kind of like they got in their own way. You know, they talked themselves out of it. They defeated themselves with their own thoughts. But it's like, well, all their thoughts have taken their best shot, and they're all just sort of laying here, and this person is still standing, and they're still looking towards this you know, if I don't, that's a pretty bleak future, right? If I don't get brave, if I don't slap away these thoughts that have prevented me from being able to move forward, then what am I really looking at? What's my life going to be? And it's like, bleh, yuck. So the Eight of Pentacles is underneath that. Yeah, this person, I feel like, made a decision to work on themselves. Three sixes. Bam, bam, and bam. You know, they say, you know, don't seek love, become love, and then you will attract love. You will be love. And then love is all that will be for you, right? As within, so without. And it's kind of as if this person, in their urge to move, their urge to come forward, this decision to pursue you, Pisces, or to not let this go, it is balancing something out within them that is enabling them to balance something out between the two of you. You know, it's bringing them into alignment with love and with you and with this connection. And that is, like, I kind of want to say, like, the strongest positioning, or carries the strongest chance, you know, of something that can really work, you know. When something is in balance, the universe supports it. The universe makes magic happen. Guys, I keep getting very similar feelings to what I think was yesterday's reading. You have the Queen of Wands and the Emperor clarifying the Queen of Cups and the Ten of Swords. And it's like having this opportunity with this, like, I'm going to say Earth Angel, because that's what that Queen of Cups gives me the vibe of. And kind of squandering it and then having to live with it. And then watching that Earth Angel become so desirable and getting so much attention. And it's caused me to step into my divine masculine. It's caused me to get in, you know, kind of step into my highest and best, because Pisces is in their highest and best. And so in order for me to balance out with this, in order for me to align with this, it's like I have to step into my own divinity. There's a very divine energy. There's like Earth Angel, you know, divine masculine. You know, it's like I have to become, I have to, you know, act only as my highest and best self. I can't, if I act any other way, I will squander this opportunity. And Pisces is so desirable, someone else will step up. I keep getting that you know, they find you so attractive, they can't imagine a world in which other people are not finding you so attractive. You have 4 sixes in this reading, at least, that I can see. You have the 4 of the Emperor, the 4 of Pentacles, and the 4 of Wands. A lot of energy around very balanced numbers. And you started off with that Justice Libra card, and that's all about balance. So there's something that's coming into harmony, that it's blending into rightness. I don't know how else to say that, but on the bottom of the deck you do have this 4 of Pentacles, and it does say possessiveness on it, and I did get that energy with this Mind card, where I do feel like this person feels very protective over you or very possessive over you in a way of like, I recognize how precious they are, and that, you know, I don't want other people feeling the way that I feel, or, you know, having access to Pisces the way that I have had access to Pisces. Wow. Wow. You know, Pisces, I do feel like this person may have been afraid to commit before, or, you know, they may have been, you may have had to take a really strong stand with this person and really kind of cut them off in order for them to come to this realization. But I do feel like it probably was for the best. You have the Three of Pentacles here, the Star card, and the King of Wands on the bottom of the deck. This is like, listen, I really know that I want to share a vision, share a plan, and collaborate with you. I really know that what we will build will be beautiful together. I know that, you know, with the Star card, it's almost as if this person may feel that they've been through quite a transformation in the process of loving you, or coming to this space where they feel potentially even worthy of your love, or worthy of this, or brave enough to try, is kind of the vibe I'm getting. And so they feel like you're fated for them, that you're destined for them, that, you know, had it not been for you, had it not been for this, that they may never have known, they may have never realized, you know, what they wanted, or had the courage to really go after it. So there's, you know, there is something here where it's almost like I feel a sense of like gratitude or acknowledgement, or there's just there's a lot of divine energy here where it's like, you know, believing that something is really meant to be here between you. A lot of air sign energy in this reading. You have the Magician, which is Gemini and can be Virgo. You have the Lovers coming out twice. That's Gemini. You have the Libra Justice card and a lot of Swords. You also have the Star, which is Aquarius, another air sign. So it doesn't have to be that you're dealing with an air sign, although some of you very well may be. It can also be the energy of someone who really embodies strong air sign personality traits, or may even have strong air signs in their chart. But, wow, I mean, you have the Queen of Pentacles with the Three of Pentacles. This is like, you know, we saw that King of Pentacles that was stopping the Six of Wands, you know, in their tracks, right? So now we have a divine pair of the King and Queen of Pentacles. We also have the divine pair of the Queen and King of Wands. But there is just this energy of, when you find someone like this, when you find someone with these kinds of qualities that is, you know, just so solid and stable on their own, that knows their value, knows their worth, has boundaries, and is not afraid to enforce them. You want to build with someone like that, because nothing's going to defeat you from the outside. This person knows how to have boundaries. They're not going to let anything in to the connection that is going to defeat it. You know, they're going to hold space for it. They're going to protect it. And, you know, in knowing their worth and value, they remind you of yours all the time, because how lucky are you to be loved by someone so kind of sure of themselves, or someone who inherently knows, you know, just doesn't let anyone in. It's like you have to be of a certain level for this person to even let you in. Then you have the Star card with the Seven of Wands, which is, you know, this is that very protective energy. This is fated. This is something that was written in the stars. I have to protect this with everything that I am. And then you have this Magician energy under on the bottom of the deck with the King of Wands energy. And this is just like, I'm willing to use every tool in my tool belt to make this happen. I want this, and I'm taking action towards this. And, you know, I will use my words. I will use my, you know, my abundance. I will use my desire. I will use my heart, my feelings, my emotion. I will use whatever I have to have what I want, to go after what I want and make sure that I have it. This is someone who is definitely like stepping into their power in a very, very, very big way here. I'm going to go one more, I think. Well, I love this Hangman card. It's Kuan Yin, and it's called Sacrifice in this deck. Another Swords energy. Wow. This person has had time to reflect. This person has had time to look back, to get a new perspective, to see the bigger picture, like the Seurat painting. You know, they have, with the Nine of Cups, there's this energy, right? All the cards are a spectrum, but some cards kind of more so than others, or I don't know, you know, how to really say this, right? But on one hand, the Nine of Cups can be a very selfish energy, and I feel, I don't want to, I don't like to like name call or like accuse people of things. But on the one hand, it's like this person got really bogged down into the details of kind of, I feel like, sort of wanting it their way. And they weren't seeing it from your perspective. They weren't zooming out. They weren't looking at the bigger picture. They may not have even really been hearing exactly what you were saying, because it's like they were coming from a perspective of, this is what I want. And so there was no compromise to be had. There was no way we could like work this out evenly. You give a little, I give a little, and this comes together, because someone was, I kind of feel like maybe both of you in your own ways were sort of deeply entrenched in your positioning. And, you know, let's just say this is a matter of commitment, right? And this person doesn't want to commit, and you don't want to be in a situationship. Well, that is a deal breaker, right? And for a lot of people, that's a deal breaker, and it happens all the time. Relationships end all the time because of that. But there's also then this energy with the Hangman and the Nine of Cups, where it's like, now that I have this perspective, now that I've taken this time to sort of see your point of view, and I've had to kind of be without you, I've sacrificed this moment in time, or I sacrificed this connection in order to sort of like, you know, quote unquote, have what I want. I'm sort of also then realizing that what I want is changing. You know, I may have been a bit detached. I may have been a bit heartless. I may have been a bit too quick to cut something off, because I was looking at it logically and analytically. I was only looking at it from my perspective. I wasn't coming at it with love. I wasn't coming at it with desire. I wasn't coming at it with, you know, understanding. I was coming at it from, this is what I want, you know, Nine of Cups, King of Swords. That's pretty selfish energy, you know? And this is what makes sense to me, and I'm unyielding on it. I'm unbending. I'm not capable of compromise. And it's like, now this person is really seeing that in themselves. And that, it feels harsh, you know. It was probably harsh to experience on your end, Pisces, but it feels harsh to also recognize and realize that that's who you are. And I think it's probably a hell of a lot harder to recognize that that's who you are than it is to be on the receiving end of it. You know, so, you know, not that there's a comparison or anything is right or wrong, right? But you have someone coming in to talk to you, Pisces. That's just all there is to it. Not that anything is right or wrong, but or, you know, it's not a comparison, right? Like, oh, it's worse for them than it is for you. That's really irrelevant. It doesn't matter. But all I'm saying is that imagine how it hurt you. Imagine what it's like to wake up and realize that. Do you see what I'm saying? Because it's important to, like, if you are talking to this person, again, if they do come in, it is also important to know where they're coming from, or to, you know, at least attempt to see it from where they're coming from. You feel what I'm saying? Like, we don't want to just be like, oh, you didn't consider that with me, then I'm not considering that. That's not love. That's not loving. Okay. Anyway, but it happens, like, people pull us out of our own energy, right? So you have the Hangman clarified by the Queen of Swords. And this person understands why you took such a harsh stance. You had to take such a harsh stance because they took such a harsh stance. And yet, look at that. You have the King and Queen of Swords, the third divine pair in this reading. I mean, Pisces, some shit is going down. Like, stuff is aligning. It's crazy what's happening up in here. And you've got a King of Swords being clarified by the Ten of Cups. Now this person is realizing, like, what it means to be able to be emotionally content with another person, and how it's really not possible when we are detached and we are trying to be logical and analytical, and we are deeply entrenched in what we want and only thinking about and seeing what we want, and sort of coming at it like, well, this is what I want and I have to fight for this. Well, then it puts you in the position of, okay, well, this is what I need, and I'm gonna cut this off if I don't get it, because there's no give, there's no compromise, there's nowhere to go. And so if we want to have emotional contentment with another person, we can't get like that. We can't be like that. We have to seek to always be understanding where they're coming from. You have the Eight of Wands here. Now this person is absolutely sure what their heart desires and what their wish fulfillment is. And I do believe it's you, Pisces, and talking to you. And they want to talk to you. Just this card is giving me an energy of travel. And this keeps coming up too. So they may have to travel to get where you are, to see you. They may just show up. I don't know. There's just an energy of, you know, doing what needs to be done, because this is my wish fulfillment, and this conversation may be really hard, but it's the only way I'm going to actually end up being able to be happy ever again. You know, even just to live with myself, even if you say it's not possible for us again, at least for me to live with myself, I have to know that I did everything and that I said everything. You know, I can't leave it like this because I'm not okay yet, you know? All right, Pisces, let's get you some messages. Wow. All right. If you're dealing with a water sign, these cards like went all over. You have hopeful. You have, I am trying to figure things out. You have, I thought about reaching out, but I don't know what to say. You have, I am afraid to trust, and suddenly all the songs I hear are about you. If you are dealing with a fire sign, you're getting, I want to be vulnerable with you. Twin flames, stuck in, it came out in reverse. I was going to turn it upright, but I can't. Controlling. I can't walk away. And you hit me out of nowhere. If you're dealing with an earth sign, you have cold. You have, I can't stop thinking about you. Triggered. You were so unexpected and anxious. Wow. You have, I won't let you go. I don't know whose card that was. I just found it. All right. If you're dealing with an air sign, you have, I don't care what people think anymore. Passion, good intentions. What we have is soul recognition. And my karmic story is ending. All right, Pisces, this is what I have for you today. I hope it helps. I hope it brings you some peace and clarity. If it does, let me know. Like, share, subscribe, comment. I do so love to hear from you guys. Until next time, I send you off with all my best. Always, always, always. Bye-bye.